Let's talk about China briefly because it's a real issue. And then I definitely want to I really want to get your thoughts on Trump. And then I do want to finish with Guantanamo. But China, I mean, they're making serious moves. I mean, every day I open up the paper or online news and boom, Xi's in Brazil. Boom, Xi's in the Middle East. Boom, UAE is selling oil based in the yuan. They're making major moves around the world, obviously with Belt and Road Initiative. They have this long game where they're thinking 100 years out, maybe 1,000 years out. And, our current administration is doing nothing to check them whatsoever. It's looking really dangerous, and they're refusing to engage at all with the U.S. or vice versa, by the way you're saying here. And it looks really dangerous what's going on right now.
China's writing us off. They've been writing us off. Now, finally, it was actually in the New York Times today writing us off. A long story about what China's doing, why they're writing us off. Not one mention of what the Biden administration hostility towards China has been. Hate, hate, hate. So everything Chinese, and China's got problems. They have the old Silk Road they want to build, the Salt and whatever they call Salt, whatever something road. They're down $70 billion on it. They've invested heavily in Navy bases. They put a lot of money into just a big natural harbor. In the Bahamas, they put a lot of money into it. They've done one in Nairobi. They've done one in Pakistan. In Pakistan, Karachi. They put money into, and they're not getting money back. People are stiffing them. So they actually have a currency problem. They have a lot of reason to want, and what's Biden going to do now? There's so much we do so much trade with them. He's now going to issue some orders. I understand cutting back, sanctions, cutting back American willingness, making it illegal for American companies to continue to deal with communist China. And meanwhile, I got to tell you, we couldn't end the war in Yemen. And what does China do? It cuts the deal with Iran, and puts Iran back in play. And what does Iran do? It tells there's a tribal group, the Houthis they support. They tell them back off. We got a peace agreement in Yemen. So that China's doing something we can't do.
Wow.
And China's doing something with the Iranian stuff is very interesting. And I worry. My current worry is Pakistan, which is in chaos. They have an awful lot of nukes there.
Yeah, they do.
And an awful lot of people that are very hostile. And they used to be our boys. But they're getting angrier and angrier at us. We sort of left them alone on the sideline. Their belief when they have flooding that destroys part of the country, that's part of climate change. And we should be more willing than we are to put money into a fund for climate change. That's one of their arguments. None of these arguments are ever played here, but they're serious in Pakistan. They've had, and we're still playing games with the leadership. And, without getting into it, I'll probably do something about it. We're not out of the picture in playing games around the world, with our CIA and our other assets. So we put a lot of money in aid, but Pakistan has a couple of hundred nukes probably if they want to, and and I once had a long conversation with Michel, the former head, when he'd been kicked out, on charges of criminality, whatever it is. I don't know if he was ever prosecuted for him. He was living in exile in London. I was in London, and I went, God, why am I telling this story? Well, maybe one day I'll write it. I had a long talk with him one afternoon. And it was interesting because when you're in Pakistan, the women disappear. When you go see a guy, somebody prominent in the government or somebody in the parliament there, whatever they call it, which I do. I've gone there 6, 7 times. And I know some of the military guys there. Anyway, and the first thing his wife comes out and joins the conversation, which never happens. And then he starts telling me, Pakistan knows that we and the Indians and the Israelis have been working overtime to keep track of every one of their nukes. They've got 2 reactors. The first reactor started in 87, and they've got upgraded. And I hear they're even playing around with 2 more, but I don't know if that's true, but I do hear it. And so we certainly Khan, the former, the big athlete, the star, what wasn't rugby, it was that other crazy game you guys play. What is that one? There's that field up in Lords.
Oh, cricket.
Cricket, yeah. Well, they're big in cricket.
Yeah, oh yeah, they love it.
Cricketer. Yeah, I spent a summer living very close to the stadium.
Okay.
straight at houses with somebody. It's a great place. It's fun to watch cricket, but I don't understand it no matter how much I watch it. But they're very good ball players. They could make it in the big leagues here, those guys. Anyway, so he just starts making fun. He says, do you really think we don't know what you're doing? Our idea is we have track of every one of their warheads. What he said in essence, he said, the message was, some of the bombs aren't, we've got them hidden in the tall grass along the runway is the cliche we use, and you'll never know where they are. I tried to write that when I was at the New Yorker, and I did write that, and the White House called up, somebody in the White House called up the editor and said, if you write that story, we're going to have to shut down the consulates and all the embassies because, it'll just be hell to pay that we know what they, we follow it that closely. Anyway, I tell you these stories because truth sometimes, even in the newspaper business, is hard to get. And it's really hard to get if you're so worried about the politics that you can't play it straight.
Yeah.
And as for Trump, I don't know what's going to happen with Trump. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that there's a panic about Trump and there's a panic about DeSantis. And I know that Obama's ratings are in the low 30s among the Democrats. And so it doesn't, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
I'll say one more thing. We have a Senate now with the Democrats in majority by 2, not a big majority. And Chuck Schumer, the Charles Schumer, the senator from New York, is the majority leader. And the idea that the Senate of the United States wouldn't say, what the hell happened under the water? We got allegations that we did it. Let's have an investigation. Not one word from anybody in the Senate. Not one word. And so where is democracy here?
Right.
It's just nuts.
Wow.
And by the way, I think they'll deny it all the way through. I don't think they'll ever admit it.
They'll probably have to.
They'll get away with it.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.